Ciao!
Ciao,
Ciao!
ciao, piacere di avervi qui, Jay e Scott. Siamo qui con i Rival Sons e voglio partire dicendo che il 30 maggio partirete per questo tour nel Regno Unito e in Europa per tutta l'estate. Oltre che ovviamente negli stadi con i Guns N' Roses, che è una delle cose secondo me più belle che possano succedere a una band che fa il rock and roll. Ma soprattutto succederà una cosa, succederà un'apparizione dei Rival Sons nel tour Back to Beginning dei Black Sabbath. E allora parto proprio da qui. Possiamo dire con fermezza che la vostra musica è sicuramente si è, come dire, imposta con i vostri 8 album in studio e con la vostra evoluzione continua che vi ha portati appunto a realizzare tanti sogni. Vi chiedo, il primo sogno che avete realizzato come band nella vostra storia, qual è?
My own realization is putting together a group of people that was very hand in glove, and that should never be understated. Um, I never joined a band. I never joined a band. I always made bands. I always had to find musicians, and finding the right combination is everything. You're not always looking for the most proficient or like a bunch of guys that graduated from music school. You're looking for personalities that gel together and people that react to each other in a real specific way. So for me, I would say my first dream was very early on, very, very early on, when Jay enters the playing with me and Miley and our then bass player Robin. It was so hand in glove and so wonderful that I just felt a real sense of accomplishment and like this is a really good group of people that react in a very magical way to each other, and to the point of it takes a long time to get a group off the ground, and we weren't making money, in the beginning, and we had families and stuff, and there were times where I was not making any money and feeling like, wow, this doesn't make sense, but the chemistry was so much there that it made all the sense in the world. I know this is going to work. I know this is the right group of people, and I know this is going to touch people when it gets to them, and when they hear it, it's going to affect their hearts. And that would be my first dream with this group.
Yeah, I think
Thanks, Scott. And Jay?
I think first of all, I need to tell you that your accent, Naiva, is beautiful. Listening to you talk, I could listen all day. I think the first dream that we accomplished was really our first, when we recorded the Pressure and Time record. It was
go back to the EP, man.
Well, the EP is one thing. When we began writing together, that's when you know it's going to work. If you can't write and collaborate together, it's never going to work, So I think that the Herculean feat that we were able to accomplish when we made the Pressure and Time record of going in with, we hadn't written any songs together. Each of us, we had ideas and things like that, but actually getting in there and making a record super fast, just go, go, go. I think that once we accomplished that, it was really like, okay, we can do anything now,
That's how I know you were going there. I was thinking when we recorded our EP, we had written songs together in a room.
Yeah.
So we recorded those live, but there was one particular song on that record that affected me and gave me a realization. And the song on that record was Sacred Tongue.
Sacred Tongue,
because we had recorded all this more powerful music that we had been playing in the rehearsal room. And after we got a bunch of that stuff down live, basically, like, in a day, we went, maybe even Dave said, you guys need something lighter on this record. You need like an acoustic song. And I very quickly said, this is something I've been messing around with. Not a song, really, just kind of like parts that were really beautiful. Then Jay heard it and went, yep, I can write to that, so I recorded all these parts into it. his phone, and then he just went outside and wrote for about, I mean, like probably 40 minutes, 45 minutes or something, and came back in and had sections that he wanted to sing over, like, this is how I'm hearing it. Yep, that's exactly it. So we sat down and pretty much played it through one time.
Yeah, and I grabbed my mandolin.
That's it. We played it through one time, enough time for Dave and Miley and Robin to hear all that, and then went, let's mic everything up right now and record it. So we wrote this song, Sacred Tongue, like inside of like an hour, and recorded it inside of an hour. And I think that was my same realization that Jay's talking about. We were able to create something so quickly that was so beautiful and so affecting. Like, well, this is a really great piece of music that we made without really thinking about it. And I don't even know if that was a dream that I had. I think that was much more like I had never done that before, like in that way with a partner, you know, like, wow, that's a very deep piece of music that was not premeditated at all.
Yeah.
We'd all been doing music for a while. I think all three, me and Jay and Miley, had signed record deals and made records, and Jay had done extensive touring. Miley had been on tour with Kelly Clarkson and Veruca Salt, and he'd like done all sorts of like professional touring.
We've all been making records in some form or another since we were kids. You know, we're all career artists. You know, it starts when you're very young. So no, we've all been married before.
Alcuni live che farete per questo tour si terranno in città e paesi che voi stessi avete detto di non aver ancora visitato. Qual è la location, il posto che visiterete che vi incuriosisce di più?
Every day, every city, you know, and I can speak to you very honestly. Touring Italy is one of my absolute favorites because you have the most beautiful language in the world. You have the most delicious wine, you know, and you have the most delicious food in the world. And your women.
Thank you. Okay.
So we're playing a couple places that we never played right at the top of the tour, which is really interesting for us. We start this tour and we do Turkey, Istanbul, Georgia. Like, these are like places not even barely any bands go to. So just because we're on the Guns N' Roses super train, we get to go over to these places and check it out. So looking forward to seeing these places, but I agree with Jay very much. There's never like we're looking forward to an audience more than another audience, because that just seems weird. We're looking forward to all the audiences, you know?
Siete stati annunciati all'ultimo spettacolo dei nostri amati e beneamati Black Sabbath, appunto Back to Beginning, del 5 luglio. Questa cosa è bellissima perché siete stati scelti da Ozzy Osbourne come non solo appunto partecipanti a questo live, ma lui stesso ha detto che siete una delle sue band nuove preferite. Qual è stata la reaction a questa notizia?
We were happy.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Was it kind of like this?
Hello.
Was it?
Well, to expand, you know, we had 13 months on the road with them on the final tour, even though Bill wasn't present, which that it was unfortunate that he couldn't be a part of that tour. But for us, we did the end tour, and it was such a significant part of our career and our legacy, our story, you know. So when this popped up, we thought, oh, well, you know, we have to be a part of that because we feel such kinship with the Black Sabbath family, you know. And we weren't announced on the first rung, and we did come around on the second one. And I guess that's the feeling. It makes a lot of sense for us. Like, okay, yes, it completes our legacy with these wonderful people and a legendary band.
Absolutely. Touring when we were picked by Ozzy to opened their final tour, and toured with them for so long, it truly was, with no exaggeration, it was the master class that we needed. We were afforded the opportunity to be given the stage by these heroes, and they gave us their arena stage every night. And they really like passing the torch in that way and helping to educate our band.
Yeah, we had played a lot of arenas and big venues and festivals. But a lot of times to that point in our career, some of these big venues that, you don't get proper sound checks as an opener, and it's just really offsetting. And it doesn't sound right. And you're not comfortable on that big stage. It's just like you do your job. You do it well. We connect with each other on deck, and we hope it's translating. I think that Black Sabbath tour was where we did enough arena shows in a row that by the middle of that tour, we actually walked into those arenas and felt like, this feels good. Like I feel the room, and I feel comfortable on deck here. Like I don't feel like it's daunting or like this big wave that's going to crash on me. And like, I can feel the people, I can feel my band. And I remember that moment. It might've been in Chicago or something, where in the Bulls Stadium. And I just felt like, this feels normal to me right now. I can't believe it. Like I'm in an arena and this feels comfortable. And so they gave us that and so many other things as well. Just a great education.
This is my favorite question. Ed è una domanda che mi piace fare alle band che ascolto, come in questo caso appunto. Qual è il vostro guilty pleasure?
Oh, well, first of all, I can tell you, I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I only believe in pleasures, and copious amounts of pleasures. I think I like what you like is what you like. The gift of song and being able to tether our lives to music is a great, great privilege. And I think that having devoted my life to music, for all of my life, I think that I understand that I can tell the difference between the carnival and the church, and when you're looking to music for different reasons at different times, So I don't know, a guilty pleasure, maybe something that somebody wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe that I like so much. I don't know. ABBA. ABBA's fucking incredible. Incredible production, just seamless songwriting.
Yeah, we all have a pretty broad musical palette. So I agree with Jay. I don't feel like guilty listening to anything, but I understand the question. Certainly, you're saying, what do you listen to that might be not right up your alley that people would be surprised about? Maybe 80s pop, like synth pop and that kind of stuff, which I never listened to growing up, and it was just the opposite of what I would listen to, and that I can hear now as a great moment in music. So like even like Cyndi Lauper or just like 80s real sugary 80s pop music, you can really appreciate.
The Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's. I love
Go-Go's. Fantastic. Very tight economy.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're the same. We hear music, you hear sonic achievement, you hear song, you hear like craft, you can hear it all. And I think when a lot of people do this into their old age, but when I was younger, you would just write it off because of imaging and groups of what people listen to. This isn't cool. Like I grew up, it's not cool. You don't listen to Depeche Mode and The Cure or the Go-Go's. That's not cool. But man, was everybody wrong? And was I wrong? It was so cool.
Oh.
It was so great. And I'm so glad that I get to go back now and listen and go, wow, that's where music was. And I was listening to rock and roll. And when I go back and listen to a lot of that rock and roll, I think, man, that wasn't doing shit. It was pushing nothing. And wow, was this music really innovative and like crafty, just hook after hook and sonically. So that's probably
no Backstreet Boys, no Spice Girl, no.
I mean, I can appreciate both of those bands.
I can't. That's actual trash. That's not even music.
Okay. Torniamo a parlare del vostro progetto, ovviamente della vostra band. Allora, nel 2023 sono usciti due LP completi, Darkfighter e Lightbringer, e questi due album hanno una genesi che si è intrecciata nel tempo e a mio parere esprimono in toto l'evoluzione della vostra band. E vi chiedo, cosa porterete sul palco di questo tour che sta per iniziare, tratto da questi due, appunto, EP?
Oh.
Ah, spoiler alert.
We have 9 records. So the way we do it with our group in general, it's not a hard rule, but it's just kind of how we do it is the first tour we do after we make records,
Always.
we will play almost the entire record.
Yeah.
Like you'll get to see almost the entire record. So just moving forward, I would say if fans are really interested to see all those songs, come to the first tour.
Yeah.
And then after that, we kind of start moving our whole catalog into it. So we are very kind of, for an album cycle, far away from the front of that album cycle. So now, like this summer tour, we will certainly play songs off of both Darkfighter and Lightbringer, but this summer will represent all 9 records pretty big time. And we still like to pull out deep cuts on those early records that people haven't heard. So it'll be all of it, but there'll definitely be songs from both records intertwined.
Ok, no spoiler. It's not good.
What would be good then? Please tell me what would be good.
Ok. State lavorando a del nuovo materiale, cioè del nuovo materiale che ascolteremo magari l'anno prossimo?
Yes, we're working on new material right now. We're going to make another record by the end of the year. So it's churning. It's going.
We're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always excited.
I think we've already got the studio time put aside. So
Yeah.
we'll be in very soon after that summer tour.
Il disco The Rival Sons che consigliereste ad un nuovo fan?
It's interesting.
I don't know. What Darkfighter or Lightbringer?
I mean,
it depends on what you're looking for. You know, you want hard, like to the point, rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but what would you recommend somebody there saying? Not what you don't know what they're looking for.
I'm saying it depends on who I'm talking to. But I mean, for me, I think Feral Roots is a great example of our music. But the Darkfighter Lightbringer, that's what I would tell somebody to go listen to, because it represents our nearest ethos, you know, of who we are. It's the most recent, and I think that we went deeper and further with those with that collection. We definitely we worked harder and tried to write from a more personal place on those records.
There's not a record we've made that I don't stand behind or that I would not recommend. I think all the records we've made are stood the test of time for me amazingly, and it's incredible that I can even feel that way, honestly. Because being an artist, we can be really fickle on your own material. By the time people even get it, we've lived with it so much that we're like kind of on the other side of it already. But for me, maybe, just like something that I think encompasses a lot of the catalog, probably like a Great Western Valkyrie is a really immediate sounding record and sits in the middle of the catalog kind of, so you can go earlier or afterwards, and that it works. You know?
I think that's good. I think that the DNA for everything that came later is in there on Great Western.
Suonerete in Italia per ben 2 date, che sono l'11 giugno a Padova al Live Hall e il 12 giugno a Firenze con appunto i Guns N' Roses. Cosa dobbiamo aspettarci noi fan da questo tour?
You should expect us to play with all of our heart, You should expect us to be elated to be there and sharing the experience with you. And we will leave it all on the stage both nights. And you should also expect us to go out to wonderful dinners on both occasions.
Ok, ok.
It's something like that. We every night, it doesn't matter where we are, we hit the stage and we play like it's the last time we're ever going to be able to play. You play like it's the last time you'll ever get to do it. And that's what we'll do. I wish we had more dates in Italy, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I wish we had more Italian shows.
But has anybody ever answered that question and said, "Oh, you can expect us to try and maybe do good"?
You can expect to be disappointed.
Yeah.
In Florence and Padova.
Yeah, grazie mille.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.